Hello everyone, welcome to Basically Netta Reads. I'm Netta, and in this video I'm going to review Spidertouch by Alex Thomson. Spidertouch by Alex Thomson was published by Angry Robot in December 2021. And I heard about it by watching one of Graham Matthews' videos last year. He doesn't post anymore, but I just wanted to read this book. It sounded very interesting, and I decided to pick it up as my first book of 2025. I picked it up from the Libby app, and here is my review. I'm just gonna go into a little bit of summary. I'm not going to do any spoilers here because I want people to read it, and it's a good book and I liked it, so I'm just gonna explain the summary now. So the story takes place in a society where people are enslaved by these rulers called Keda. The Keda are high society rulers, basically like the government, and they cover their faces with, they wear robes and they cover their faces with their hoods, and they are somewhat deformed underneath that. Nobody really knows what they look like, and they don't speak any languages. They just use what they have is touch language, which is they use their fingers on the palm of the other person's hand in order to speak. We follow one person called Razan, who is a translator for the Keda. And we get the story basically on his perspective, and he is basically the main character. In this society, children are taken away from their parents at the age of 11 until they're 18, and then they get sent back to society. They are taken to the mines to work. This society is on the verge of collapse. There's going to be a revolution, and there's another nation who's coming to start a war with this society. So I'm just going to leave it at that, because if I say anything else, then I'm going to give away basically the plot. So I don't want to give that. And I would like people to actually go and read this book. So yeah, now I'm going to get into my thoughts and my experience with this book. This book is a very grim, it's grim, dark, revolutionary, and it was just captivating for me. I kept wanting to read it. There were parts of in the middle that lagged a little bit, but it was the plot went really fast, and there were times that I felt like there were too many themes that were pushed into one story, but then it made sense as I kept reading, and I continued wanting to read. That's why I kept reading it. So that's kind of a good sign that this is a good book. I was just wondering about a bunch of questions that didn't get answered, specifically the magic system. We don't really get much about the magic. The Keda have the magic, and we don't really get to understand the magic. There's very little that is told in this, and I just wanted more information. That's it. I just wanted more information about that, and I think the author did a pretty good job at putting out this story. I just think that there could have been a little bit more about the magic and how it works, but I guess that's the whole point of what the author wanted to do. So I don't know, and it's a standalone, so that might be why I feel like I needed more out of it, because I'm used to like reading trilogies and duologies in like fantasy. So I that could have just been my preference and what I thought that should have happened. But I think that the story was really well written, and the plot went very well, and it was what the author wanted to be, I guess. So I'm not mad at this book. I actually like this book. I wanted just a little bit more information. Um, this book is very different from most fantasies, yet it has the same kind of themes in it. Just the idea of war, revolution, family, and those kind of things. Razvan is a father who's trying to do his best and be in the society just so he could survive at the same time as keeping his son alive in the mines. So that's kind of like what is usually like in this kind of like grim dark kind of fantasy books that comes, and it is there, but it's in a different level. Like it's not your usual high fantasy. That's what I'm trying to say. It kind of reminded me of Mistborn, especially the Final Empire, and 1984. So Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson and 1984 by George Orwell. In the way that the Kedda are a bit like the Lord Ruler in Mistborn. If you've read Mistborn, you know what it is, right? And then for me, it felt like a bit of 1984 because of the way that they were being treated in the society. Like they were being watched in a way, and it's very oppressed society. So that's a bit of like stretch, if I would say, but it's just that's how I felt while I was reading it. That I just wanted to point it out. If you guys liked any of those kind of books, then you might want to pick this one up. It's more Mistborn than 1984. If I put it, there is not as much magic in it. That's why I'm saying like the two. If you don't like that much of a magic system to be present, then this one is for you. And it isn't a standalone. It would be very like it is a very short book. The chapters are very short, and the plot goes really fast. It's not very character driven. It is based on the main character, like you're following that main character. He's telling his story, and then you end up seeing what he is seeing. So it's a bit like, I would say, Robin Hobb-esque Brandon Sanderson, George Orwell. If that makes any sense to anybody. So yeah, I loved this book until it started lagging, and then I was just like, okay, let me just keep going and it might get better, and it did. So for that reason, I'm giving it a 4-star. I give it a 4-star in Goodreads, but it should have been a 5, but yeah, it had to be lagging. So yeah, I mean, it was a good book. I'm happy that this was my first book of the year that I read, and I hope other people watch this and want to pick it up. That's the whole point of this review. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more from me, please subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.